Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are we doing? Welcome to another match review for Chelsea 2, Burnley 2 at the Bridge in the Premier League. This is what we've come back to from international break. A very, very disappointing match between Chelsea and Burnley. Very disappointing match for Chelsea in general. We had a Burnley that were down to 10 men in the last 7 minutes, or no, not even last 10 minutes of the first half, and then the whole second half, and without a manager as well, because Vincent Company got sent off, and we couldn't nick a result. And I'll go on to my analysis on it. But before we go ahead and start, ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you are new here, smash the subscribe button. It helps out the channel. If you're over on the Bridge 258 as well, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification, smash the like button so that you help us out with the algorithm. And if you're watching this in the future, leave a comment down below your thoughts on the game and your frustrations, as well as check out the links in the description for more content on either side of the YouTube space. And if you're over on Twitter, retweet, like, all that fun stuff. And check out the memberships, please, because God only knows I need some emojis to make me feel better today. Okay. All right. So, and to be honest, I'm not that down in the dumps really on Chelsea. I've kind of already said, fuck this false flag. I know I pointed out multiple times that, yes, of course, that like, hey guys, look, these last 8 games, we've only lost once. I know I kept pointing it out, but I never bought into it. Because it's not like we were winning those games. We just haven't lost. And technically, we haven't been losing. It's 5 games in a row now we haven't lost? So, listen, our data-driven owners, don't be surprised if Poch is here next season. But we'll discuss. So let's go ahead and do the quick summary of the match as we always do here as tradition. So, in my opinion, guys, I mean, maybe you agree, maybe you disagree. Pretty dead first half. So we had Lorenz Asanon scoring a brilliant goal. I can't really be too upset about that goal. No. I'm sorry.
He got sent off.
Yeah, you're right. He did get sent off 40th minute. He conceded basically the penalty that on Mudryk that gave us the lead. Cole Palmer being absolutely cold penalty, by the way. He Panenka the keeper, and it looked like he was going to go at it viciously, which honestly, very smart penalty from Cole Palmer. I got to give him that. I thought he was going to blast it because of how quickly he came to it, and then he just Panenka'd, which brilliant. But again, sure, he's got the confidence. He was easily man of the match today. Gets us ahead in the game 1-0, and just before the end of the first half, I think it's before the end of the first half, we see Josh Cullen with a brilliant goal. Not much our defense could do about that, in my opinion, but maybe we'll disagree and discuss it. But brilliant goal from him. Not much we can do, and it's a 1-1 game. I think that was actually the second half. Now that I remember, because we start off the half, second half immediately. The second half starts, and that happens, and then we in the 78th minute we get another Palmer moment of brilliance, and he puts it behind the net. Brilliant goal, hits side netting, and it's 2-1. And at this point in the game, I'm thinking we're gonna win. We're all thinking we're gonna win. It was Enzo in a single pivot with all attackers pretty much. You could say Poch wasn't being a coward this time. He was actually being brave. And unfortunately, and I hate to say this because this kid's been brilliant for us all season, from a corner, O'Shea ends up heading the ball, and unfortunately, rather than punching it out, Petrovic tries to catch the ball. It slightly slips or the power of the header goes past his hands, and you see the goal roll to the back of the net, and that's it. It's a 2-2 game. Sterling missed a very prime opportunity to score, but to be honest, there should have been a much more opportunities to score in this game. This game, I'm not gonna lie to you, it lacked chances for the most part. We need to, in order for us to defeat sides like this, we need to create much more chances than what we created today. If I'm looking at the stats, we had 33 shots, only 13 of them on target. We had most of the possession for the match. It was just disappointing. I can't really blame Poch much for this game. I'd really have to reach in order to blame Poch. But I think this is one of those games where, unfortunately, due to the injuries, which you could blame Poch on that, you know, the verdict is still out where the injury is coming from. But I think this is just one of those games where, because we don't have another creative number 10 we could put in there, like Nkunku or a Carney, that we're just stuck with what we have. Maybe we should have started Nani Madueke. I don't know. Like, I honestly, Ahmed, you tell me, man, how could this game have gone any differently? And I mean, your thoughts on the game overall.
You didn't need Nkunku. You did not need Nkunku and Carter Chukwuemeka to win this game. Like, we need to stop. We don't need that, man. Let's just say, you know, let's just really stop that. You know, school of thought right here, right now. There are more than enough chances in this game. We created more than enough in this game to win this game. So, you know, anyone that is, you know, saying that there was not enough chances created, as someone, you know, who, you know, here has always talked about the level of chance creation we had. In this game, we were creating multiple chances. It's just that we couldn't finish our dinner. It's really as simple as that, you know. Whether it be the Jackson up front today, with his finishing, whether it be Gallagher shooting to the sky, whether it be Sterling doing what he does best, Mudryk, I'll give him I can give him the benefit of the doubt, because I can at least say he was creating chances more so, even though he was shooting to to the sky too, and there was one or two crosses where I don't know what he was thinking on. Obviously Palmer scored both goals. Props to him. Madueke, he was doing every now and then. That final shot wasn't a great shot. You know, sometimes you have to look for that, you know, what I like to call the high value shot. You know what I mean? In that situation, you're just looking for a tap in or like a short, almost like a pass shot into the back of the net there, and you know, you shouldn't be really trying to shoot from you know, outside the box, or just in just outside the box to be making the goal there. For me, you just look at it defensively, we just look like bitches. That's what we are. We just look like bitches in defense. Just really, for some reason, I have nothing really else to say in regards to that one. I think the other problem for me personally is that, you know, listen, you know, I'm gonna hold Petrovic accountable, particularly for that second goal. Should have been doing a lot better there, if you want to be honest about that one too. You know, I don't know what's going on at halftime, because, you know, what is he saying to these guys at halftime? Because, like, I saw a stat today that, you know, we out of a possible 19 points we could have earned, we've gone from 19 to 5. We've dropped to 19 points.
Are you blaming us on Poch?
We have dropped 19 points here after going up at halftime.
I understand.
No. But there is like something fundamentally going on here, whether you want to admit or not. At halftime, why are these players going from where they are at before halftime when they're winning the game, and then the second half comes along and they're just capitulating? You know what I mean?
I understand, and I agree with you. Second half,
and that is not even this game, but this is like an actual like trend now.
No, I understand.
Points. That's the problem.
Second half, we always seem to drop our heads. But this is one of those cases where, like, yes, we dropped our heads in the very second minute of the second half, right? We can see that goal and it's a draw. But then we come back with an open play goal, and big up Strasbourg Steve. We come back with an open play goal, and we regain the lead, which then goes against that stat, right? And then the error. But like, if anything, I would say like the set pieces are absolutely fucking poor in this team, and we need to fix up immediately on that. But it's hard for me to say that that stat relates to this match, and that I can blame Poch for how we go out mentality wise into that second half. You know what I'm saying?
Of course you can, though. But of course, of course we can, because this game is just yet another data point on that trend. It is. Whether you want to admit or not, Marshall, it's another data point on the trend of we're leading 1-0 at halftime. I don't know what the halftime team talk is, whatever's going on at halftime, and then bang, you know, what's it called? We're capitulating. We may score to make it 2-1, but then they score back again.
Mm-hmm.
So like, you know, if it was just one game, Marshall, I could be like, you know, I can hold my hand up. But this is now.
I get that.
It's multiple games now, Marshall.
But I feel like I get what you're saying. I just feel like for this game in particular, like that doesn't paint a correct picture, because like we came back to gain the, you know,
there's other
like
games
normally
where we've come back, but there is other games, Marshall, where we've come back and then they've scored on us again. So, you know, it's not just this game where it's just been, you know, oh, we've scored and to make it 2-1. And it's not like as if someone else has come back and not scored against us. So that has also happened. You got what I'm saying to you, Marshall?
I feel like you're really listen. You know I'm Punch Out. I'm with you, right?
It's not. But I'm not even, this is, for me, this is not even about Poch in.
I understand. The only reason I say that is because I don't want people to think I'm Poch and I'm trying to defend Poch. But this is just one of those cases where I'm like, I don't know how you blame Poch for that. Right, I don't know how you play Poch in that second half.
But bro, if you are, but the thing is, yeah, if the team is consistently for some reason, yeah, coming out in the second half with the wrong mentality, yeah, we can blame the players, of course, but we also have to look at what is the manager, what's it called, also saying too. You know what I'm saying to you? It's all, I always say it's a double-edged sword. We can ask the players why are they mentally capitulating, but at the same time, we also need to ask what is the halftime tea talk as well. What is the manager telling them to? You know what I'm saying to you? Those are two things that we need to ask ourselves. I always say the players always have to have some level of responsibility. That's why I don't even speak about them, because that should be an automatic known. But I always also have to also look at the leader of the players, which is not the captain of, it's the manager.
Today,
the manager is the leader.
And you know what the other thing is too? We would give credit. Doesn't have to be Premier League. It could be other leagues. It could be whatever. If you see a team that's consistently really good in the second half, for example, Luton, they're very good. They will never, ever, ever give up, no matter the scoreline. They score a lot of goals past the 75th minute. We would give credit to Rob Edwards, and I think that'd be a fair thing to give him credit for, because that's something that they do well, right? Mm-hmm. And so we would give a manager credit if they have consistently strong second half showings, or they recover points from losing positions, or if they hold on to leads better than anyone else in the second half. That, you know, they score way more than, you know, like Inter Milan are scoring tons of goals in the first half. They're wiping the floor. Mm-hmm. The second half, they don't need to be as clinical in Serie A. So you give Inzaghi the credit. They get these guys busting out the gates, bam, 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 goals in the first half. Second half, you know, you don't have to be quite on it all the time. So I think it is a fair criticism to say to Poch, these second halves, it's again. I only watched the last half hour of it, because I was watching the Leverkusen game, but I did watch the last half hour of it. My biggest takeaway is, if you didn't tell me that Burnley were down to 10 men, I didn't think they looked like they were down to 10 men. I don't know if that's credit to Chelsea, or if that's credit to Burnley, or a criticism of Chelsea, or is that a positive for Burnley?
That could be credit to Chelsea.
It has to be Chelsea. That dude, Steve, they were without company in that second half. Company got sent off.
Yeah.
No manager. So that's absolutely one of the most embarrassing things about it. Like it's just like we keep topping embarrassing performances after embarrassing performances over and over the season. Like
how low can you
this,
go?
This is so ridiculous. But obviously, Chris, I do want to go to you, right? One thing that concerns me now is that I think today in my head there was the drumming of the drums from the ownership, and I just keep hearing data-driven model, data-driven model, data-driven model. That's the buzzword replaying in my head over and over again. And I'm worried now. If you look at the data, these last 9 games, first of all, we hit 40 points. At this point last season,
get in there.
We did not hit 40 points, right? At this point last season, we were struggling to get 40 points, if you remember. So now we hit 40 points. So technically, statistically, if you're looking at the data,
it's better.
It's better, right? And now, if you look at the last 9 games, including this one, we've only lost to Liverpool in a Carabao Cup final at that. And now we are on our way to another final in the FA Cup potentially if we beat Manchester City. But we are in a good position. We're in a position to get into a final. No more data-driven information there, right? More like, okay, on paper, this season doesn't look that bad. And if you look at where we started in the beginning of the season, if you look at where we started in the season, right, Steve, to where we are now, we have improved technically. Yeah. Technically, we have improved.
Just like how Coventry City have kept about the same level last season in the championship, being in and amongst the playoff mix, losing in the final of that. They're in an FA Cup semifinal after selling Victor Gyökeres, Gustavo Hammer, and maybe a few other key players in that team. You know, Mark Robbins has replicated that.
Yeah.
But they look just as good, and even though they started out the season like crap. So but the thing is, if you have to watch, it's a mix of both. Result-based analysis strictly is stupid, and anyone can do it. My mother, who knows nothing about football, no interest, she can. You know, I tell her I'm gonna print out a sheet of results, team from last year, this year, which looks better. Is this an improvement? She'd say, yeah, 3-0 win here versus a draw here, but you didn't watch the game. I didn't enjoy the subs, like, because you don't have that. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's what worries me, right? And Chris, I'll ask you. What? We're looking at the data, right? We're looking where we were in the beginning and versus where we are now. It has improved. So, are you worried that our owners are gonna wait? But let me ask you the question: are you worried, Chris, that because of our improvements, right? Because of the data, Poch is potentially going to stay here next season?
Fuck the data, because literally we had a way worse team last season. So if you want to use context, like if the ownership and everyone else watches, we had Kai Havertz, who's better, Kai Havertz or Cole Palmer?
Cole Palmer by
Kai Havertz. I mean Palmer.
Like we have made who is actually I should have done like Kai Havertz and Jackson since they're both strikers, but also like Mason Mount and Cole Palmer or Jackson or something. Like we have improved massively on players like this season. We got Gusto. Obviously that's a massive step up because Reece James is going through a lot of injuries. And like, you know, who do we have replacing Reece James last season? Aspie. Like he had to play most of the season last season, so like we was like very poor on players last season. Like we got 40 points, cool, but we should be this team should be a lot higher. Like, you know, obviously today was on the team as well massively. The team was completely shit.
Yeah, not half hour you didn't look good.
Like how you lose to a Burnley team with 10 men, I will never understand that. I keep saying in my head we lost. I honestly keep saying to Marshall on Discord.
I mean, a point does you no good.
No, yeah, and it feels like it really feels like a loss. It honestly feels like a loss because it's embarrassing to go 2-2 to Burnley, who are 19th by the way, and guess where they ended up still? They're still 19th because how bad they've been this season, and we gave them a point. We gave him a point. I don't know, like it's crazy, but. Nah, the data, the manager has he's a big problem for me this season. Now I wanted to give Pochettino obviously the season, and I still give him under this season because I don't think there's anyone to replace him with right now, unless we get a Jose for intern or something like that. But I don't see that happening. the team needs to be improvement still. Like there is like we have to get improvement from like next season as well, and I think we still need a new manager. I don't care the data says we improved from last season. Potter might have done a better job over Poch this season. Potter could have done a better job. He may have done a better job. So Potter wouldn't have been struggling like this with like this team compared to last team. I don't think not like this. He will still be struggling, but not the same way. So I honestly say fuck the data because the data's not done nothing good for Chelsea right now. This like last 2 seasons, what this ownership's brought in. They brought in obviously good players. They brought in bad players. They brought in shit managers after shit managers by the looks of it, and they're like hesitant all the time like last season. It's just not good enough. It's really not, and I'm actually getting concerned with Chelsea a little bit now because if next, I don't know what's going to be next season now. I thought this season, you know what, one season, bad season. We've been here before. We've been this in 15, 16. We know what one bad season looks like, but we always bounce back. Not the case no more. This too, like we're mid-table the whole time again. We're just going to be mid-table Chelsea for a couple of 3 seasons or whatever. I don't know what it's going to take, man. Like it's going to take a new manager, I think, but it's still not going to solve all the issues. So there's just too many issues in this. I'm considering, man, what's worse, man? Taking crack or watching Chelsea? What's worse?
Watching Bayern.
Not a great joke, man. Not a great joke. Did not ban Chris. I'm just gonna let you know.
I'm just serious, man. Like I don't know what's worse, man. Like it, but yeah, like
I mean, taking crack is really, it doesn't kill you straight away. So it's not even.
No,
that
no. I know it's not gonna kill me, but it's not gonna be a good aftermath either. Like Chelsea,
Give me some energy.
bad. I mean,
that's the joke. Like, which is the worst aftermath? It wasn't about killing me.
It would definitely be in a better mood.
I don't think Chelsea can kill me literally, but it's just shit, man. It's just shit. So that's my point.
Yeah, this is it's not good, guys. Obviously, this is terrible result for Chelsea. I mean, what's our next match against United on Thursday? I went into this thinking like surely we can win, but again, I agree with what Ahmed saying. Obviously, regardless of the side, we have enough quality to have won against Burnley. But do you think anything changes even if we have Carney in the side or Chalobah in the side or those two really that miraculously got injured over the international break for some reason?
For today, no. Like this team should have been good enough, even with Gallagher in that team, and he was god awful, of course. But like this team should have won it. It's like one of the worst like performances I've ever seen from Chelsea in a long time. There's no excuse. There's no excuse for what the players we had on the pitch. I don't know. It's just Poch just killed this team mentally. He may have killed this team mentally, like completely just fried it or whatever. I don't know what he's done. Like I still blame Poch in like ways as well with like what he's done to Chelsea this season. Maybe we just don't care. Like we're mid-table. We're just shit. Like mentally, we're just on the floor. Mm-hmm. It's something like that. Because like I don't know how that team can't beat. They can beat Newcastle quite. I thought we beat Newcastle quite comfortable. I know the result was like 3-2, but it was a comfortable game. And then we but draw to Burnley 2-2 with 10 men. I don't know.
See why I was so fucking mad about that game?
Yeah, I can understand now.
It literally game by game by game. I think every single second half, and particularly second half performance, has been like absolutely nowhere near what you guys did versus us. That's how disgraceful, and that's how. And because I knew this was coming from you guys, like I was just like, we lost.
Yeah, it was bound to happen.
It's going to slip. Yeah, exactly, and that's why I was so pissed off, and continue to.
I think most teams should be embarrassed if they lose to Chelsea this season at this point.
I mean, I do have to ask you guys in the chat because I see people blaming Poch. I'm curious, why do you blame Poch? Like, what could Poch have done differently in this match to change the result?
Marsh, I don't think he was. Like I said, only the half.
That's why I'm saying. Like for us here on the panel, I think most of it that watched the game, Ahmed saying maybe the second half talk could have been better because we've seen in the second half something goes on in the locker room and they come out and play like shit. But I'm genuinely curious what reasonings the chat can come up with logically using your brain cells, right? For why this is Poch's fault, because it's so easy to say, "Oh, Poch out, Poch fault," but that's like, okay, why?
I
why?
blame Poch for one reason. It's just waste on the season, and maybe it's just mentally broken.
Yeah.
Maybe we're mentally
Poch is
broken.
at fault for putting us in this
That's the only
situation
thing I
for a
can
lot
maybe
of
say.
it. Yeah.
And I agree. Like, I don't know what he says. I don't know how does he motivate this team? Does he actually motivate this team? I don't think he does at all. There's no motivation to actually get points or wins or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
What are you gonna say, Steve?
You know what it is? It's guilt by association.
Yeah.
Guilt by association. That's
sense, yeah.
something you could always like. You know, that's something you could always come after. And like I said, we would and we do praise teams if they consistently do something excellently. Particularly, we focus on the manager. Maybe obviously point out players if it's super crucial. But it is very, very heavily if we're praising something good in football. The manager is usually a big reason why. So don't we have to look at the flip side of it? If there's something wrong, of course, you add in those details, those sprinkles on the cupcake or whatever. You add those about the players, but the cupcake with the bread and the icing is the manager.
Yeah, I get that, and I get
You
it.
know
Like
what I'm saying?
that's why.
But, and again, the biggest thing that I took away from just a half hour that I saw from 60 to 90 is I did not. It didn't look like Burnley were down to 10 men. If you didn't count them out, that's crazy. Because it's Burnley in 19th.
Yeah. So Max P, I get this. It's an accumulation. Mainly seeing no improvement and no tactics. He's thought by most managers. He's thought out by most managers. He's outthought by most managers. Sorry. I get that. But when we're talking game by game, right? Obviously, some games you can blame Poch clearly. But in this game, I just don't see where you can blame Poch. Jesus Christ. But yeah, in this game, I just don't see how you blame Poch, which is what I'm asking. Like, how are people after this game's analysis saying it's on Poch? Like, I get it.
The problem is Marshall, though. You know, and I always say this, we can criticize the players, we can say their shit, we can say, what's it called? We can say the players are shit, they're not good enough, but you know, and we can criticize them all we want. We can, and that is all correct, right? But at the end of the day, if this is a continuous thing, we're seeing it happen. We have to look at the big man, the guy that's
Obviously,
teaching them.
I get
right,
that.
And that's just the reality of the situation, bro. Because if right now we're consistently failing, that's what we're doing, bro.
But wouldn't you say, just to be a little bit of a devil's advocate here, real quick, and I'll shoot this over to Prime because you just joined us. Wouldn't you say that, like, I get what you're saying, Ahmed, and I agree. Yes, overall, I think Poch is to blame because Poch got us in this situation to begin with, or he's partially the reason why we're in this situation to begin with. There's the directors, obviously, I guess, or recruiting a team that doesn't really suit Poch and how he wants to play, and the owner's not pulling the trigger on, you know, having that happen. But Prime, I'll ask you, to a certain extent, do you think that it's also because the owners and the recruitment getting such young staff that when you don't have an experienced team, they just don't know what the fuck to do in a situations like today's game?
Prime's doing a prime.
Yeah, Prime. Prime.
So
I'd be prime.
But again, Marshall, though, the problem is, I agree with you. I'm telling you, though, the problem I've already accepted that the players are not good enough. Some of the players are already not good enough. So
you're past that stage.
So for me, at this point,
that's what I'm asking, though, Ahmed. Like in today's game, is it on the players being inexperienced, or is it on Poch inability to coach, or is it just? It's both?
Not really. But the thing is, you can't say it's inexperienced though when you cannot. What's it called? Put the ball into the back of the net. Like a lot of these players, yes, they're inexperienced, but like with the amount of chances we created, we should really be putting the ball into the back of the net.
But they weren't clear-cut chances, though.
No, there was some which were just point blank.
Well, yeah,
like,
but
no. Like you couldn't. There's no other way to put it, Marshall. Like
no, I got you. Hold on. Like, listen. Sometimes when I interrupt you, it's because you got to let me cook. All right, I got you, man. All right, I got you. Here, I'll show you. Oh no, wrong thing. There we go. Okay, so we're talking about the clear-cut chances and all that stuff, right? This is one of the clear-cut chances. One of our young players, Cole Palmer, with the ball right here. And we know this is probably one of the clearest chances that we had in the game, right? Raheem Sterling gets the ball.
The header.
right there, and Ash just not absolutely unable to put it on target. Now, I don't expect Raheem Sterling to be an expert in heading the ball, but he is one of our experienced players. And I know he's not good enough, but we're talking about a player that is going to be going down in history as one of the greatest Premier League players, right? Yeah. Because of the stats, unfortunately, but because of when you look at how many goals and assists he's gotten in the season, he's got to go down as a recognizable figure in Premier League history. But he's the reason we missed this. I don't know if it's because he's not. Well, I mean, I don't know if it's because the team's not good enough, or the team's too young, or is that Poch, not being able to tell the guy how to fucking score.
Yeah, obviously I thought he had a good impact, but yeah, like not to put out on target is still embarrassing of Sterling. Like he should be putting out on target. You have a free header, no man on you. It doesn't matter how tall you are, or even like average heading or whatever. You don't have many headers. You can put that out on target at least, and make the keeper actually work for it. He just hit it over completely, so he should have done a lot better there, of course. But he's not like the sole reason why we lost today either.
Again, not. Yeah, but I think this is the issue. Like, if we've already accepted, that the players are shit and they are the ones that have missed the clear cut chances, why do we need to talk about that? Because I don't know why we need to consistently talk about the players. This is when, or even Poch to an extent.
I mean, the thing, unfortunately, Ahmed, because of the way I set up my show, we have to talk about the game, and I'm trying to find the reason why we sucked this game, and the verdict is that the players let us down today. That's why we're talking about the players. So, just letting you know, that's why we're talking about the players. So, like, it's just one of those instances, though. Like, it's like, again, and this is why I asked the chat, like, how do you blame Poch when Poch isn't the one telling Sterling, who is experienced, by the way, to do this, right? He's not the one telling him, like, listen, this is our clearest cut chance, in my opinion. We had some shots on target, like, we had Cole Palmer shot outside the box to make the keeper work for it. We had Jackson had 2 chances, I think, today that were blocked. Cole Palmer has also another opportunity that was blocked. And it's just like those players did everything we wanted them to do.
You know what it is?
Well,
you know what it is also what we also you guys played against another team. For me, maybe they just did their jobs at an elevated level today. Mm-hmm. Right? Because I'm looking at the highlights of the first half. He had a very, very good save, Modric. A very, very good save.
Can I just say quickly, sorry, bro, before you go, but I'm not disagreed with this point, though. I've made this point. I've literally just said the players were shit. They're the ones that missed the clear-cut chances.
And Burnley were also up for it. Maybe that's the other factor into it, too. They played one of their best. They in that half hour, they didn't look too bad. I'm not saying they were exceptional, but they've set a standard this season of when I watch them, what to expect, and they've been poor execution, nice ideas and stuff. But they seemed a little bit more up for it. It reminds me kind of when they played Villa away near December time. They were up for that damn game. They played well. They gave Villa some problems. So they do have it in them. Maybe it was just that's also a slice of the pie as to why you didn't beat them, because maybe they did their job to an elevated level today that nobody was really expecting. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's the other factor into it too. And I feel like, and this happens a lot with when a big team plays a small team. We don't talk about the small team. We only talk about, Chelsea and not the Burnley side of things. Well, you played that team, so they obviously, that you can say what you want about them. But yeah, like that, maybe that's also a part of why you didn't play as well. I just saw the goal, by the way. That's a really good strike from Poland.
Again, Vic, though, the thing, I think this is getting lost in translation. I have already accepted. I had always already, if you, I'm pretty sure you've watched channel. Everyone has watched channel. I already knew the players were not going to be good enough this season to do what we needed to do. So I had already accepted that we're going to get probably somewhere between 6th or 8th. That was the plan for me this season. Let them develop. Let them take their time. We're going to have like highs and lows, right? But the thing for me is that, I think barring you could argue Mudryk, and obviously Palmer, who's actually had a good season, Gusto, who I already knew had the quality already and was showing that at Lyon. Yeah. Everyone else has either declined or remained stagnant. and that's the issue that we're having right now. Like, and then obviously they're not having good games. They're playing like shit as well. And when they're not at that level, it's gonna be even more glaring. Whether it be a Jackson right now, whether it be a Gallagher, whether it be a Mudryk for some of the times we've seen him this season. So with the players, I already know that I already know where they are, what stage they are. That's why for me, you rarely see me complain about the players more so than I think a lot of other people, because I've already said this before multiple times. The players for me right now, they're not at the level. They need their time to develop. That's what I've always said. They need the time to develop. But the problem is when you're at Chelsea Football Club, when you're at Chelsea Football Club, I don't think you have that luxury, sadly. Yes, this new ownership may be trying to change the culture to be able to do that, but it's but at Chelsea, we know what it's like. They always want elite. We will always want players who are close to becoming elite or stuff like that, where within the next year you're at the top of your game. That's what it is, sadly, and that's just the reality situation. I just think for me, and I've always said this before, and I've said this to many others. If the manager just had a system which allowed everyone to do their job and work efficiently and not try to do certain things which did not work properly with the team, I do not think we would be as bad as we are right now. That is just what I've always commented on, and that's all it is. Today again, we can talk about. I've said this before. The players missed the chances. It's on them. For the majority of them, because we shouldn't be talking about the second half stuff that I'm talking about right now. It should be on them to be putting the ball into the back of the net, and we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. That's all it is, bro.
Yeah, I mean, that is a good point you brought up, Ahmed. I think because this game, these are the type of games that if you have a system with these inexperienced players, then you could possibly find yourself creating more chances. You could possibly find yourself creating more clear-cut chances, if anything, and scoring more goals, because this is a team that, as much as I agree with what Steve is saying about, this is a Burnley side today that looked like they wanted to step up. They're fighting a relegation battle. They're trying to stay up in the Premier League, and they're always going to have the dog in them, right? As much as I agree with that, they're still Burnley. And we still have quality side, and even though we're young,
but it's sports.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
even though
we're
young,
that's the beauty of it. Anyone could win.
Even though this is a young team, right? There's still enough quality.
They have a young team too,
player for player, and that doesn't make it any better. That doesn't make it any better for us.
Hey, Maxime Esteve, Montpellier, Lorenzo Signon, Stade Rennais. The goalkeeper is his first season in the Premier League, I believe. We're talking about Dara O'Shea. I'm not sure how much Premier League experience. You know what I'm saying? I could go on and on.
This is where I agree with Joel too. Like, these players are not this bad. I know these players are not this bad. So to perform like this, I think today was one of those games where, okay, you know what? I see where Poch is at blame for this. Poch doesn't have a system. He's just relying on these players to have a moment of brilliance. You put on Nani Madueke with no guidance. You expect him to score a goal like he did against Leicester. That's only going to happen every now and again. You put on Sterling. Sterling's just going to do what Sterling does best, which is what we saw today. And he's not been in great form. You put in Sterling expecting him to just make something happen, but he's not been that guy since the beginning of the season. I'm sorry to tell you. Although today I will say, and we'll go to Prime too, because Prime hasn't said anything. I will say, Sterling, he had one little moment today. The assist was brilliant. I'll give him that. The assist to Palmer was brilliant, which we will go over the goals because I have them here and we'll break them down. But the assist to him was great. That was brilliant. Yeah, but that's not a system. That's, again, relying on players having moments of brilliance. But Prime, what were you going to say, brother?
Okay. What was the question you asked me when I first joined?
Oh, for fuck's sake, Prime. How am I supposed to remember that shit?
No, I do remember.
Okay, thank you. Please, go ahead.
I remember. You were saying players, manager, who gets the brunt of the criticism today?
Are you talking about this game or in general?
This game. Right, Marshall? That was the question.
Yes, this game. I think so. Maybe. I don't know. This game.
We had enough chances to kill off the game, to score 3 or 4, even when Burnley scored their first. But ultimately, it lies down with the manager. If your
Right.
players, for whatever reason, are not doing the job or they're failing you, which to be fair, I can't even necessarily say per se the players are failing because they scored 2 goals. It's down to the manager to make a tweak, to change things up or see the game out. And
Okay.
Poch has not been doing that countless times this season.
Okay. What would you have done then? What was that? What is that tweak that you
What
would
would
have
I have
done?
Coach.
But that Poch should have done.
Defend set pieces. If we defend set pieces, we don't score that second goal. We don't concede that second goal.
Or if
Like, again,
Petrovic doesn't make the error, by the way, I should say that.
Yes, but like that's down to the manager. We've been conceding so many times from set pieces. I'm not going to blame Petrovic for that. But ultimately,
What?
and again, listen, I get
No, you have to blame Petrovic for that.
Wait.
No,
I
no,
think
no,
there's
I'm
something. Hold on.
I'm talking about stop, Steve. I'm talking about this season. We've been continuously conceding from set pieces.
I understand that.
Ultimately,
But we also can defend set pieces from time to time, and these are one of the
Ultimately-
instances where we should have defended that. And Petrovic
yeah, I know. That's
failed to do
I know,
that.
but that's on Poch for us not being able to defend.
That's
set
not
pieces.
on Poch.
Yeah.
That's on Petrovic
I'm not-
making the error. Yes, I
No,
understand that.
I'm talking about this season. Because this
But I
game-
asked you about this game.
Yes, but this, if you would listen, this game, it's so different from so many games this season. I'm not going to look at this game in isolation when I can pick out at least 10 games. we've
Okay, but I'm
played.
asking you to look at this game in isolation. What do you
I
blame the
can't
players
look at it in
Poch?
isolation. It's a copycat of so many
Then you
games
can't
we've
answer the
played.
question.
I have answered your
You
question.
can look at a game and hold on. Just let
You're
me
in,
let
hold
it-
on, let me finish. You're stop,
Yeah.
stop, Steve. Like,
Prime, I'm asking you
I
to
put it on
take
the
your
player.
Poch agenda out for a minute
I'm
because
not- I don't-
I was
it's
able
not-
to, and
it's
not
it's
try to find a
it's
way
not-
to
it's
actually
not-
be
it's
reasonable
not-
about
It's not
this.
a Poch agenda. I've put blame on the players because I think they should have been able to finish. Near the end of the game, the whole like kind of chaoticness, that's not a word, but the kind of lack of structure and them not being calm and composed in being able to get the third goal to be able to win the game. I kind of have to put that on the manager because why are we? Because that's the sick. Because I've seen that so many times this season. It's not ultimately that little partner at the end. By the way, I can't just say players. I've seen that so many times this season. We struggle to break down low blocks. I've seen that so many times. The players have their faults today, fine, but like we scored 2 goals today. We scored 2. If we're able to defend set pieces. And find Petrovic should have done better from the corner. But if we're able to defend set pieces, we don't concede that second goal. If we
What about
don't
the first
start
goal?
off, if we don't start off slow, like we've been starting off slow every second half we've played this season, we don't concede that goal. Oh, and by the way, that goal we conceded in the build-up, Caicedo was left on his own in midfield again. Tactical issue. Like the players have some of their faults for today, yes. But so does the manager. It's twofold.
And also, Prime, I introduced the third aspect of it, which is obviously you're playing someone, so they perform to a certain level and they affect the result, obviously.
No, I don't think Burnley weren't that good today. I'm not going to give them huge credit. They weren't that good today.
Compared to what you've seen of them?
No, I just don't rate Burnley. Like it's Burnley.
I don't either.
We
Yeah,
should.
I don't
Nobody on
either.
the panel
I
does,
don't-
but they
I
still.
don't care.
they
We should be able to beat them. I don't care. We
No,
should
but
be-
that does matter. But that does matter. Prime, you're playing another team. What they do matters.
I cool, whatever. That's fine. But like, it's Burnley. They're poor. We should be able to beat.
Yes.
You guys know I go into every game saying that like I don't trust Poch, so we could lose. I went into this game feeling like we could win. I said we will win this game easily. I trust Poch enough to win this game. I trust the players enough to take the chances to win this game. The fact that we
It's
didn't,
on you, bro.
I'm done.
That
I'm
is
done.
on you.
I don't care.
It's on you.
I don't. Yeah, but that's my point, though, Marshall. I've seen this game play out so many times this season that I'm done. I don't care.
I can
Manager
trust
has
Poch to
to
not
go.
lose this game. that's
Every
as
single
much as I
game,
can say.
every
Mar-
single.
Marshall, Marshall, the manager has to go, but some of these players, like, they also need to fix up as well. It's not just a thing of me. I'm not dumb enough to think the manager goes and we're automatically better. Like, we get rid of this manager, but we also, like, some of these players need to, like, get a mentality. We can't be dropping our heads when a little bit of adversity comes. You're never going to make it at the top level playing that way. And also the board. Like, I'll speak on them later, but they better get in a proper coach in the summer. Carlito put in the chat, like, no top manager will come to Chelsea. We don't need a top manager. We just need a good coach. Like, we don't need Pep. We don't need Klopp.
Here's the thing that I this is the part that I don't understand, and I don't like. Maybe someone can help me understand it. It's like, okay, I understand that this team put their heads down and they need to stop doing that kind of stuff. I get it, right? But this is where I go back again. How exactly is that Poch's fault?
Because it's mentality. It's on the manager.
But isn't that also part of the recruitment, not getting an experienced player that can be on the pitch and keep these guys elevated and tell them, yo, get your shit together?
True, but the manager.
Where was that? Where was that in your statement?
But we know we need more players. We know we need recruitment.
It's like a given, a prerequisite.
Like but that's a given. But like, I'm not going to speak on the fact of, oh, you know what? If we had Osimhen today, we win this game because he scores 2 goals. What's that going to do? Why should I say that?
I'm a little baffled right now, Prime, because like, yeah, it's also a given that we all want Poch out, and we know Poch is not good enough. Yet you went on a whole tirade on Poch.
No, I didn't just speak on Poch. I spoke on the players as well.
Okay, fair enough.
Because Prime said there were chances to finish, and the players didn't do that.
Yeah, if we take our chances in the first half and we are 3 or 4-0 up, then Burnley don't have the confidence to try and fight back.
I think Muric made one really good save.
There were some decent saves there. There was,
and
that's part of it, and that's the other thing too. That Marshall, maybe that is that middle that people don't want to speak about because it's what it is. Also, it's a pride. Hold on. You know what it is? Also, it's a pride thing. It's a pride thing.
I agree with you, Steve.
One sec, Prime. I'll let you to rebuttal. It's nothing crazy, but it's a pride thing. It is a pride thing. It's 100% a pride thing. It's Chelsea, Burnley, David, Goliath. Some people just don't want to. Some people just straight up do not want to look at the other side of it and be like, actually, that's a really good block. I don't rate that team at all. But in that instance, good block, good save, very good team goal for their first goal. I think maybe that's what it is, Marshall.
No, it's not. That's sure. Steve, I get what you're saying, but you're waffling because
it is part of it. It is part of it.
I'm not looking at this in isolation. It's happened so many times this season that it's a pattern. The goalkeeper's name, Muric. To be fair, he had a good performance near the end of the game from the saves he was making. But like this game has happened so many times this season that it's not isolation. It's a pattern. Why is this continuously happening? Yes, it's the players. You can't keep dropping your heads every time you can see the goal. That's a poor mentality. But I can also look at the manager as well. Why are you letting this happen over? And if we were 10 games in, then I would look at the players. But we have 10 games left of the season.
See,
I've got to look at the manager.
Again, though, this is where I disagree with you, Prime. And I really don't think Steve is waffling at all, because I understand what you mean. We've seen this time and time again. I understand that, right? But this game is also not the same as Middlesbrough, the first leg of Middlesbrough. We had Cole Palmer miss 3 clear-cut chances, or we had Sterling had an absolute howler of a game. This isn't Liverpool, where we saw Sterling miss clear-cut chances as well, and all this and that. This game, I can't really count on my hand how many clear-cut chances we've had other than the Sterling one and maybe the Jackson finish. Maybe I think this is exactly maybe the Mudryk chance as well, where he didn't hit the shot right, but also the Cole Palmer chance where the defender just blocked it. Like, I think you got to look at this game as well, where it's like, okay, maybe Burnley maybe we did get unlucky as well. Burnley were in the right place at the right time in some of these instances, and we just couldn't put our shots away. Like, this isn't like one of those games like that I just mentioned, like Middlesbrough, where we miss clear cut chances. No, but Prime, there's a difference between getting unlucky like today and Middlesbrough, where we were absolutely not playing well at all.
Like, what preference?
You mentioned Middlesbrough, I didn't, but okay, fair enough. I'm just saying.
I'm mentioning as an example, as a reference, obviously.
Yeah, but like if things happen over and over again, like it's not a coincidence.
I understand that.
And you're acting as if I'm only talking about Poch. It's not an agenda. I've spoken on the players as well. What else do you want me to say about the players? Spoken about the players. They can't keep dropping their heads every time something happens. You're not going to make it at the highest level. And
yeah, but you said that's because of Poch not instilling a mentality.
Mentality stems from the manager, though. So
you are blaming it on Poch.
No. Well, he has some blame, obviously. I haven't said it's all Poch's fault. He has some blame. Or should he not have any blame for today?
No, I mean, for today, this game in particular, it's hard for... Obviously, I'm not talking in generality. I'm speaking specifically about this game. In this game, I don't really see much blame on Poch. I think it's a lot on the players.
I have a bit on Poch. Not all of it on Poch today. I have a bit on him for today. But again, this game has happened so much. That's like, what are we doing? A team is a perfect reflection of the manager. Spurs is a reflection of Ange Postecoglou. Villa is a reflection of Emery. The team has to be a carbon copy of the manager, whether it's the good parts and also the bad parts. Man United is a carbon copy of Ten Hag.
Yeah. Eddie Howe is a perfect reflection.
Oh, yeah, hopefully in the summer we get a proper coach. I'm not even saying he has to be an elite manager or a world-class manager, but just a proper coach. And also we upgrade on certain players in certain positions. Because mentality, leadership, we need leaders to come into this team. We do.
I mean, before we start breaking down the game, because I do want to break down some of these goals, right? I do want to ask, like, because people say like these players aren't good enough, and I'm seeing in the chat a lot. What players are not good enough?
Left wing position, left back, and we need another striker, and maybe another centre back, and we need to get rid of Sanchez and Kepa and get another keeper in, to compete with Petrovic. That right backs are perfect, of course. So, we've got Gusto and we've got Reece James for the next season. Hopefully, hopefully he doesn't get injured as much.
No, Real Madrid won't.
Okay, mate. Okay. We have Cole Palmer, obviously, 30 GNA and like 31 starts this season I've seen. So like he's been unreal. So he's been so good. Jackson's been okay, but we still need improvement on that strike. But there is a few improvements. It's not perfect, but it's not this bad.
I agree with the Jackson one, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with the Jackson one.
You don't think we need
and
left
definitely left wing for sure as well. But
hopefully we don't need to improve like in our 10. Hopefully Nkunku's not as injured next season as well. Hopefully. But we need another left back because Chilwell's finished. Chilwell is
Carney got injured miraculously over the international break.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
That's why he wasn't available, which is also why like I kind of give. Actually, no, I don't, because even with this side, you should still be able to beat them with the quality of players you have. I'm not blaming this on the fact of you don't have Carney and Nkunku. You don't have any creative number two.
I also agree with you, Marshall. Our players, and I tweeted this when I saw the lineup. I don't have a problem with how Poch set us out in the beginning. The players are more than good enough to win the game.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. So let's look at this first goal. By the way, we're looking at the penalty, right? I think it. What exactly happened? Does anyone know why? Asiuna, what's his name? Assignon. Okay, why Assignon technically got sent off? I know it's last man, right? Goal scoring opportunity, denial of a goal scoring opportunity. So he drags Mudryk down, gets a yellow, and then concedes a penalty. But then he got sent off. I think he got a second yellow almost immediately. It was like a double yellow.
It was double yellow, yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
It was because he was already buffed. He was already booked. That's why.
Wait, he was already booked prior to
Yeah,
this?
yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Marshall, you just said it's a second yellow.
Yeah, but I thought he got it in the same play. Like, I thought he got a second yellow because he was talking to
Maybe-
the ref.
maybe you
or
thought it was-
condescending.
No.
Dissent or something.
Yeah, I thought it was dissent.
No.
No, yours already on a yellow. Let me find
Yeah.
the minute that it happened.
Do you guys actually think this is a penalty though?
Yes.
Go ahead, Chris.
Well, it's a penalty because one, he clips him with his leg a little bit, and he puts his left hand on his shoulder and pushes him away. So it's 100% a penalty. I think it's a bit soft, of course, but you shouldn't be putting your hands on the player. Like, there's a reason why, for example, Tuchel told our players to hold tennis balls in training because you can't be grabbing them with using your hands or stuff like that. So, yeah, like, and I think it's maybe a harsh double yellow. I don't know. You could like I've seen stuff like this you can get away with, and also you can get double yellow. So I think it's in between. One of them. You just got to make that decision. I don't think it's like outrageously a red card though. Like, how did he give a double yellow? Like, it's nothing like that. But yeah, that's what I think about. Like, it's definitely a penalty though.
Yeah, penalty.
We're still
shit. Penalty for stupidity.
Yeah, basically, yeah. He didn't have to put his hands on him, did he? If he didn't put his hands on him, maybe he might have got away with it because he only had a slight little touch to him on his leg, but it's them two together. And it's a hand thing for me mainly. You can't put your hands on a player when he's in front of you. That's just like basically trying to pull him down.
It's a cardinal sin of defending. If you get beat, don't put your hands on their shoulder. Because the one thing that is allowed, the physical thing about football is shoulder to shoulder. That's okay. No, not hands to shoulder though. Not hands to shoulder. So yeah. That's that was a penalty. I saw it on replay. Yeah, it was a second yellow and it's a penalty. Yeah.
I think it's soft.
One of those. Go ahead, Prime.
It is a penalty, but I do believe it is soft.
Mm-hmm. And this is again where I go back to what I was saying about getting unlucky today. The Disasi goal getting ruled out as well. Can anyone explain to me what exactly happened?
Let me look at a replay of it.
Well, what I saw, like, is a bit blurry for me when I saw it, but like when he headed it, he also hit it with his arm or something. He directed it with his arm. So they're gonna say like, oh, the reason why it went in because it hit his arm. Apparently, I think by the looks of it, it hit his arm anyway. So if it hit his arm, yeah, disallow it because of that. But I think there's something wrong before that that was going on. I missed something before that. Disasi handball was something wrong. Apparently he got like grabbed or something. I don't know, or someone got grabbed. I wasn't too sure about that. I can't remember that far back, but yeah, like it's disallowed because of that for me. Anyway, what I see, he handballed it, so yeah, disallowed. Straight, it's like that.
Yeah, I mean, Steve, are you looking at it right now? Can you even see what happened?
Yeah, so you know what it is? It's this. I think it's the stiff arm because Disasi and I think that's Maximus Stev. They're both going for the ball, and Disasi is grabbing at the defenders. He's creating kind of separation and also grabbing. It looks like on his shirt. So I think maybe that's why. But it was a 50-50 tussle. Because it's not like the Burnley player wasn't grabbing Disasi as well. But maybe it was that kind of stiff arm thing. Maybe. But yeah, I kind of agree that it's a weird one, man. We don't know the fucking rules anymore. That's the other thing. We don't know the fucking rules.
Huh? I think if his hand wasn't so high up and it hit his hand, maybe he might have got away with it. But because his hands are so high up and in the way, like you're not really supposed to do that. Maybe that's why it's.
It was a handball.
Yeah, it looked like it slightly touched his hand. It looked like it slightly touched his hand. It's just one of them.
Oh yeah, it did.
Yeah. And again, it's just one of those like unlucky decisions. Go ahead, Chris.
I was gonna say it's a shame it was called off because that ball from Mudryk was so good. That cross, a beautiful assist from Mudryk. Obviously, it's a great cross, but didn't count.
I mean, aside from the performance as well, like I gotta give kudos to some players. Obviously, Cole Palmer was magnificent today, and I think Mudryk had a good game for the most part. Like I know nothing really resulted of it, but like Mudryk was effective on that left wing, even though I was expecting him. Like if it was up to me today, what I predicted when it came to this this Chelsea game in terms of the lineup, which if you've seen it, kudos to you. I was thinking that Poch was gonna give Enzo a rest because he only had one full training since coming back from international duty. Give Enzo a rest, put Gallagher in the pivot with Caicedo, and then have Mudryk in the 10 position. Because Mudryk in the 10 position has been pretty effective, and he's been driving. And in games like today where Burnley, well, I don't know if you could say Burnley are going to play a low block, but as a result of having a 10 man down, they did end up playing a low block. When you retrieve the ball in your half and you have someone pacey like Mudryk, and we did say it today, like he had moments where he created something. Having a player that can run in behind a defender into the spaces while, Burnley is stretched out, it's, I don't know. I would have preferred Mudryk in the number 10 position today. But what do I know? Badia Sheila today? I think he was all right for the most part up until the very final minutes where he started looking a lot shakier.
I've always looked a bit shaky in and out of the game. Like he
You
was
think
good
so,
at moments.
Chris?
I think he's just good at moments, but like maybe he's just been thrown into the game as well. He's just come back as well, so it's gonna be one of them. He's gonna be off and on. But yeah, I was gonna say with Mudryk, do you guys reckon Mudryk's gonna be benched next game?
I hope not.
Badia Sheila is still
starts doing it
building
or
his
something.
fitness and like match
Say that again,
fitness and
Prime?
stuff.
Go on.
Badia Sheila he's still building his like match fitness and stuff.
Yeah.
But like, I wouldn't be too worried about how he's playing. The Mudryk thing, I don't get why people keep saying he's better as a 10. I disagree. I think he's better off the left coming in.
I think it's because he drives the ball. He's like a driving 10, which is, I like that. I don't mind that, especially he has the pace and the dribbling ability to do it. He's been effective since, even in Ukraine. I think in these Ukraine games, I heard he was being played as a number 10 and he scored the winning goal for Ukraine that got them qualified for the next part of the qualifiers.
He scored his goal centrally, but he was playing off the left and drifting in.
I have
Again,
no idea. I just
coming
watched him
inside,
as
though.
10. He's looked pretty good.
Yeah, I know, but like in terms of a starting position, in terms of a starting position, I don't think it should be as a 10. But like what him and Palmer were both doing, the fact that they were both coming inside and playing centrally at times today, I like that. So this gives us different like dimensions.
I
It's annoying
understand
'cause
that.
we had the chances to win this game today. Like from how we
Yeah,
played, for the most part, like was a real positive. And it's just a shame that like we didn't get the win to match the performance from some of these guys.
I just think Mudryk as a 10 driving through the middle provides us a different dynamic than what Gallagher does through the middle, or Gallagher does at the number 10.
Oh, that I agree with. Yes.
Yeah. So maybe that's why I think it's better. I don't know. Maybe time will tell. Obviously, we need more games to watch. But speaking on Mudryk as well, let me pull up this next part. Right. So this is the goal we concede. Obviously, Mudryk here doesn't get a very clean tackle, which results in the Burnley player getting the ball here. You go to this position here. So we have Caicedo here, which Prime mentioned Caicedo being on his island. I mean, you have Enzo over here, so the pivot's just shifted over slightly to where the ball is. I don't really see where you blame Poch.
I thought it was very static though for the first goal. It was like we weren't doing much to press them. Like we just running back and no midfield like actually like pressing up forward. We have the defense already back, so why is I thought Caicedo.
I didn't say I blame Poch. I just mentioned like he was on his own in midfield.
Oh, Caicedo, yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
You know what it is? This is a very good team goal.
That's what I mean. Like it's just
very
unlucky.
good team goal. Like it started off on the right. Mudryk was trying to tackle him, doesn't really get onto it, but then it's boom, and then he does. It's good. It's you know what it is? It's improvisation on the fly because the ball wasn't great. To who was it? So it was Vitinho. He laid it off to Cullen. Cullen laid it off to another player. It wasn't a great pass. It was a bit too high, but the Burnley player gets his leg up and softly enough as well. And then it's the first time smashed with the outside of the boot. That's a great team goal.
Can I say?
That's a great team goal, and sometimes that happens.
Can I say Chelsea should not be letting them have a good team goal against 9 men? Burnley, 9 men, 10 men.
Sometimes it happens though.
No,
and you know what
it
that is?
shouldn't happen against a Burnley who's 19th, who's 10 man with no manager, no missing player. We should not.
I
let
could-
them
you
have
can
a
make the
good team.
argument.
I thought it was
But
too
at the same
static.
time- But at the same time, these are pro footballers.
Yeah,
Yeah, but-
all the
Why
pro
they're
footballers,
19th.
I know
The
they're
reason why
great
they're
players.
19th is because they don't do this kind of play and then score off of it often enough. And
but
That's the
defend.
reason why they're 19th. That's the reason why
Steve,
they're 19th.
they scored. It was a good team play, but ultimately the goal was a wonder strike for one, and two. The reason why I don't good team play, but I don't care about giving Burnley credit because this shows again Chelsea starting off second half slow.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't care about Burnley's credit because it's a pattern that Chelsea have been doing all season.
Mhm.
You know
I
what
mean,
it is? If I was Bellamy, I would have been telling them these guys suck dick in the second half. Let's go for it.
And that's my point, Steve. That's my point, Steve. It's a pattern.
Oh, for sure, for sure. But it wasn't. All I'm saying is, if I showed my mom that goal, she'd be like, "Wow, good pass. Good pass. Ooh, wow, what a finish." She
And
don't
if
know
I
what-
told your mom Chelsea have been doing this all season, starting off slow in second half, she wouldn't be impressed.
No, not at all. Because what, bro? You look. It was a good team goal, in my opinion. If you don't think it was like,
I didn't say
I
it
agree
wasn't a
with
good
you.
team goal. I'm saying I don't care because we've been doing this all season.
Yeah,
Right.
well, I mean,
No, I agree
you
with
could
that.
now in hindsight when I look at this now, like, were you tactically positioning though? I think Gallagher should have done a better job to
I think he should.
see this passing lane and try to get there because there's a hole here, and Gallagher coming in as what position did Gallagher play today? He was a 10, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Gallagher in the 10 probably should have covered this better, but again, I'm not a footballer. I don't know.
He isn't either. Don't worry. He ain't really.
Gallagher probably should have done a better job to get there and read that pass and block that pass from coming in.
I'm watching the game back. So Mudryk presses the player. He makes the pass. Gallagher should be closer to Cullen. He's not. So 1-2 with Brownhill.
Yep.
And a wonder strike. Yeah, like Enzo and Gallagher should both be doing better then.
Sure. I'd agree with that.
Yeah, but again, like it's like there's not much you can do about this one, other than just you should have been in a better position to find the passing lane and intercept the ball. But again, it is a wonder strike. I don't think there's really much Petrovic could have done for that either. Like it's just really unfortunate.
Oh, he hits that ball sweet as a fucking nut. Like that's insane.
Yeah.
Bro. Outside of the boot to that, and it, bro, that's a dart.
Bro, if only Josh Cullen could have done that against Belgium midweek for Ireland. Okay.
But yeah, that for me. That's a really good goal. Yeah, phenomenal strike. Yeah, you could have done better, of course. Maybe that's nitpicking, but at the same time, like, you guys. I understand why you guys are so critical still, even if like two things can be true at the same time, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, like, why are the players not waking up in second halves?
Yeah, no, and I
Why
get
are they
it.
not
And going on to the third goal of the match, I have it up here. Say what you want to say about Enzo, because I know the rivals are always going to have issues with Enzo this, Enzo that. Like, I think it was okay of Poch to leave Enzo in a pivot by himself and have him dictate the game almost like Jorginho used to do for us, because he was sending some pretty well driven passes here and there. He was doing pretty good to dictate the game by himself and not coming in deep and just let the attackers do the thing. Because I think at one point the formation was kind of like it was like a 4-1-5 almost, or a 4-1-3-2. Like it was. Am I doing my math right? I am, right? Yeah.
4-1-4-1.
Yeah, it was like a weird. Yeah.
4-2-3-1. I thought he took off Caicedo.
No,
And
he
Gallagher
took off
dropped
Caicedo, and it was just Enzo. Like, yeah, you could see Palmer sometimes drop down or Sterling drop down, but it was really to receive the pass. So it was almost like a 4, a single pivot, 2 10s, wingers, and a striker. That's what it looked like to me. because it almost seemed like Sterling and Palmer were like the 10s in the middle, and he left Mudryk and Nani Madueke to go in the wide channels, and then Jackson just stayed up top. But you see here with Enzo passing it to Sterling, and this is what I got to give Sterling credit. Like brilliant heel flick to pass it to Palmer, and then Palmer doing brilliantly to find, be in the space to find the gaps here, right? And then from there, just putting it away, side netting. Like it's a good goal, but we should have won after this.
If you watch the goal back, Sterling, like he takes, when Palmer's running in, Sterling takes a look and he sees Palmer make that run, and that's why he makes the flick.
I think right here is where you see it.
Yeah.
He kind of sees him, yeah.
Yeah.
And again, like this is the part where Enzo doesn't get enough credit for finding Sterling in between the gaps right here between these two Burnley players, threading it through. So now you take these two players out of the equation, and then Sterling to be. This is what I want from Sterling more often, but we don't get it. Like, don't think, give the ball off. Like this guy, like normally, what I was expecting from Sterling from here. Take a touch, turn around, and start driving in. That's what I would expect from Sterling.
Yeah.
He always wants to be the hero, but
I
no.
thought he looked alright when he came on today, at least, and that's what I want to see. Like, bring him on, man. Make him hungry. Like, make him want to actually do something instead of just fucking being a waste of space half the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I was gonna say, like, when we scored this goal, I don't know. This is one thing I definitely criticize Poch for. We have Castell on a bench. He's a tall midfielder. Why did we not bring him on when we scored straight away? Try to see it out. We only had one.
Because I think he was on his third substitute.
You have five.
No, but like you only have 3 windows. Remember?
Oh yeah, you have 3 goes. Wait, yeah, but
I think because Gusto got hurt.
He still could have made a change right at this point after this, or he couldn't.
I don't think so. Because did Gusto come off at this point? Let me check.
Did he make 3 types of changes?
Yeah, he had to take off Gusto. Gusto was the third one.
I think the plan was to get a third goal and seal it off.
No, okay. If you couldn't make the changes, well, okay, I'll take it back.
No, because remember,
let me check.
Too many times this season, Chelsea fans have criticized Poch for, playing for the.
I'm wrong, Chris. You're
2-1 lead.
Okay, I think he should sub on Castell.
Yeah, but I think the reason why he didn't is because too many times this season, Chelsea fans have criticized Poch for going defensive for the 2-1 lead. So I think he was trying to get the third, which again, I don't blame him. 10-man Burnley, why not go for the third? That should be no problem.
I'm not saying it's not even defensively though, Prime, because we only have still one midfielder. Like Enzo is the only DM in there. Like we have to rely on
10-man Burnley.
Yeah, but there's no stability in that midfield.
I know, but it's 10-man Burnley.
I know. We should have won today. We should have easily won today. We should easily won like 4 or something goals winners.
Because if Poch makes the sub you're saying, and we still draw 2-2, you know what we're saying? We're blaming
I know.
Poch.
I get it.
So, if you see, Marshall, I'm praising Poch here, but you're not going to mention that.
No, you know what I'm going to do, Prime. You know what I'm going to do, bro. Huh? You're right, though. I wouldn't have said anything.
No, exactly. Yeah.
I still want a bit more stability in that midfield, though. Because why do we bring Castell back? What was the point? Why? Like, we don't use him. If we're not going to use him, we should have left him at Leicester. Why not leave him there? Give him his full loan out. It's just pointless.
We did have 81 possession, though. 81% of the possession, though, Chris.
Yeah. It's pointless possession, though. Like, all that possession to do what? Like, hold the possession against, 10 men? That's not hard, is it?
You're saying
no.
Well, we had won this game 3-4-0 like we were supposed to.
Once they conceded that second goal, they came out and pressed us completely. They just put everything out there, which I was hoping, which Poch would have been, attack minded, right? I was hoping that we could get a third or a fourth goal from that, because then it leaves Burnley exposed. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. I think we ended up conceding the second goal very soon after that first goal.
3 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
after 3 minutes,
3.
we concede the draw. Which here we'll put it on the screen right now. Embarrassing.
Caste's tall
So
guy, right? You know, corners.
again, corner. They win a corner about 2 minutes after they concede that goal, and obviously number 2 was the one that scored. O'Shea. This is Nani Madueke, and this is the part that frustrates me is he gets left by himself. And I'm not even entirely sure what Mudrik's goal
I think he's
position.
daydreaming.
Mudryk. No, he's not daydreaming. Don't do
No,
that,
he's
Chris.
watching.
He's
Yeah,
blocking
he's
off
watching
Brownhill.
8.
He's blocking off Brown.
I don't know who the name.
Like,
is,
I would
but
feel- I would feel like Nani's in a better position to do that, and Mudrik should be on this guy. But okay, well, let's
he's watching
continue.
them.
No, Mudryk.
mate.
It's Nani's the one that lost Dara O'Shea. Mudryk is
Yeah.
marking his man Brownhill.
Not really looking at, but yeah, he's made sure
Guys.
he doesn't run past.
Look at how many blue bodies are here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in this general area. Like, our set pieces are so fucking shit.
That's bad.
Like, this
then-
is
and
so
then-
bad.
Let's also put some more misery onto this. Look at that 2-on-1, 2 yellow shirts, 1. Imagine if that ball goes to the side. Yeah, that area, exactly.
Yeah.
And Marshall, you see why I say if we could defend set pieces better, we don't concede that second goal.
Yeah, I get that. I agree with you. It's just this is, but again, yeah. Regardless though, even if you don't concede the set, because like, listen, no matter how much you defend set pieces well, you are going to concede a shot eventually, and when you concede a shot, you rely on your goalkeeper to be able to stop the shot,
Oh yeah,
and Petrovic does stop it, but he tries to catch the ball.
Do you think? I don't think he tried catching it. I think he just tried padding it away. It's weak. It's like cap
We
a hand.
don't concede. It's not as if we concede set pieces on occasion. We concede set piece goals all the time. So it's not.
I understand, but let's say even if we were good at set pieces this whole season, right? We're still going to concede shots from time to time, and this is one of those set pieces where, like, okay, Petrovic had it, but he didn't save it.
Well, okay.
It falls on
If we can,
Petrovic.
cool. If we were brilliant on set pieces and we conceded that goal, fine. I could blame Mudryk or Madueke for losing his man and Petrovic for the goal. I could do that. That's fine. But we concede them on such a regular occurrence that's not unlucky or bad defending. It's a pattern. It's how we're set up.
I
Because
understand.
we will concede that. We will in our next 3 games, we will concede another set piece goal at least once.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
I
like
know
even
we-
if we're flawless in set pieces and we concede this goal, you're not blaming it on our set pieces. You're blaming it on Petrovic.
If
Like
we were brilliant on
if this was on the other end, you would blame it on the goalkeeper. You wouldn't give credit to Burnley and or you wouldn't say the set pieces are Burnley or shit. Which, mind you, like I get it. This is shit from us. Like we shouldn't be like this, right? But again, even if the shot is going, like you see Petrovic gets both hands on it and it slips, that's on Petrovic at that point.
I know, I agree. But even if Petrovic saves it, even if he does save it and the game ends 2-1 and Chelsea win, the next game we'll probably concede from a set piece.
Sure, but then we're speculating at that point. You got to wait for the next game to happen and that to happen. I get it. We're not good at set pieces. We understand that. But on this particular instance, in this particular game, in this particular goal, it's on Petrovic. I understand the set pieces should be better.
Yeah,
I'm not looking at this particular game. I'm looking at what's been happening all season.
We understand that though, Prime. We all know. It's a given. We know we're shit at set pieces. But Petrovic should save this.
I know he should, but I'm not going to blame Petrovic when it's been happening all season.
This is something you blame on Petrovic, though.
No, I that goal is his fault, and he has blamed for that goal. But we've been conceding set pieces all season.
I get that.
That's been happening.
But if you're trying to state that as a means to say, like, in the scheme of everything, this goal is actually Poch's fault because we suck at set pieces. I gotta disagree with you.
I didn't say just Poch. Whoever who are set piece.
I just don't understand why you're bringing up the set pieces part then.
Because I think it's right. I think
And
it's
you know
valid.
why also you bring up set pieces? What happened? What happened 7 minutes later? Didn't Burnley hit the crossbar?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Didn't
So-
they look dangerous every time
No,
on set
is
pieces?
that Petrovic's fault?
Didn't
Is
score?
that Petrovic's fault or like?
Us being shit
Yeah.
at set piece is not Petrovic's fault, but like the goal he conceded, we know he's a lot better than that. Like, yeah, it's
Well,
the
if we
only
were good at
mistake he's made this
defending
season,
set
but
pieces-
he still cost us there.
It's his
Sadly.
first note. For
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
it's his first notable mistake.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
goal.
100%.
Easily.
And he's played
not
a
mad at
good amount of games as well.
If we were good at defending set pieces, we defend that properly, and Petrovic doesn't have to make the error. Like for me, I'm a guy
Yeah,
who like I look at how to mitigate errors.
Prevent.
So if I see an error happen, I'm gonna play it back and see how the error happened, and you have to cancel out the mistakes that led to said error.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you guys
So-
something though. Obviously, Bariashile today, not a bad game, but also not an excellent game. He's pretty average. Do you think? And I thought, and I predicted this. I thought that Thiago Silva was going to start this game. Do you
thought
think that
so.
Thiago Silva makes any difference in this at all?
Nope.
I can't see him being a big difference. It's hard to say. Like,
He did control the midfield, by the way, but all right.
who didn't control the midfield? Oh,
Enzo.
all right. Oh no, we controlled the game, but yeah, and he's on the zone.
70% possession, by the way. But okay, let's continue.
Thiago Silva's fallen off a cliff this season. I think our defensive structure is poor. Like everyone looks kind of average in defense, except for like Gusto, really, and Dasasi's probably looked our best centre back this season for sure. But yeah, like I think Thiago Silva's done in this squad anyway. I don't think we're going to see him anymore. I think today was shown like he's not going to start. He's not going to start next game, surely not either, because
He might start against Man United. He might.
wouldn't that be suicide though? Because he's not played in a while. Now you just start bringing in Badiashile.
Oh shit, you're right. He might start.
That would be.
Because
I think
as
that'd
of
be
right
crazy.
now, we don't know what's going on with Gusto right now. He
Oh,
might be
yeah.
injured.
And we don't know about Chalobah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
in that case, what would happen is Asasi
Force
moves
the
to the
backs.
right back. And oh my god.
Unless
Real suffering.
Gilchrist plays.
Yeah, man. Gilchrist, Silva,
If I
Badiashile at left back. Gilchrist at right back, and Dasasi and
If I see
Gilchrist might be a right back, actually, yeah.
If I see Gilchrist in that 11, I'm not watching the game. I won't watch it.
oh, who knows, man? We got to show Man United real suffering on Thursday, man. That defensive unit, no going forward, no overlapping, no nothing. Just stay back and hope for the best.
Well, I have no
Masterclass.
idea what's going to happen in that Man United Chelsea
I have
game.
no. It's
It's like fucking Make a Wish game, bro.
I
We're-
watched some
we're
past
losing
games
that
of
game.
Man United. They
We're,
conceded like
we're losing
20
that game anyway, so it's fine.
Draw.
It's not a draw. We're losing. We're losing. It's not a draw.
I feel like it's a toss up. I think it's a toss up. We're both shit.
It's two mediocre ass teams.
Like they concede chances. By the way, they concede a lot of chances against
Brentford literally abused and used them today, bro.
I don't know how to
Yeah, they do concede chances, but we struggle to break down low blocks.
They're not gonna be low block. I don't
They're
think.
not going to play a low
They
block.
will be. They will be low block. They did that last game against
No.
No,
us.
they didn't.
No,
They
it
did.
wasn't low block.
They did not play a low block last game.
They were playing counter attack against us.
Yeah, they pressed us high and we just fucking stood back. We played
They
low
pressed
block,
us
if
high?
anything. We
pressed
had
us
we had a high line and we were playing low block. We were playing counter-attacking football with a high line against them. We did not. They did not play low block. We did.
Oh, okay.
You
cool.
know, you
Well,
know what it is actually. You know what it is. Why that's one of Man United's best performances of the season. Because in different phases of the game, they showed different like strengths. Like they countered well in some time periods of the game, but they also dominated the game for a lot of it. They actually that's why it was actually one of their better performances because they showed a variety.
I just hope we don't underestimate Man United. Just don't
I hope
underestimate.
you're right.
I said draw. I said draw.
No, we're losing.
That's not.
I
I
wouldn't be
think,
surprised
it's
if
a
you
toss
lose.
up of both shit teams. That's it. It can go either way. That's it.
Maybe I'd give the edge to Man United.
Yeah,
Maybe. Just maybe.
Bro,
But then
that,
again, they've scored less goals than Luton Town.
bro, that pacing behind, man.
Hey, we might not have to deal with McTominay in that game at least. You know,
Garnacho
McTominay
against Gilchrist. Long day.
It wasn't he against us last time, Garnacho? He didn't do shit, did he?
Yeah, against Reece James, he killed him.
No, I don't think he did.
You seen Reece James since?
We was conceding from like
Can
McTominay
we
in the
not make
box.
this a Reece James thing again?
Yeah,
please?
I don't want to. I don't want to because
Like every stream.
it's not worth it.
Hmm.
I'm not gonna buy it. Actually, I'm not gonna buy it. But that's just gonna
Prime was trolling me during the Bayern game, so yeah, he's on a mission from God.
But yeah, I mean, today's game is just fucking. Ugh. I don't even know, man. There's so much that's been said already that at this point it's like, why repeat myself? It's just so demoralizing. Listen, again, we didn't lose, so data driven. Hey,
how many draws we got
Poch,
this season?
we're
Is it
not
like 10
losing.
draws this season? 10 draws this season?
Actually, let me check right now.
Like we got a lot of draws this season. That's the thing why Man United's so further ahead of us because they actually got less, more losses than
We have
Chelsea.
7 draws.
7. How many wins? 10.
Yeah, 11.
Okay.
United have 15 wins.
Yeah.
United have more losses than us,
Yeah.
but because we aren't winning, we're in
just
11.
draw. We're draw FC
Yeah.
basically. It's
Yep.
it's crazy how much we're drawing this season. I don't think that should be. That's not right. That's
How many losses do we have?
like 11.
10.
10? Okay, 10.
10 losses and 11 wins.
Positive.
Yeah.
Hey,
We're fucking as mid gets.
50%. That's 50%, man.
Yeah.
Mhm. Not good, man.
I am curious how many losses, how many draws we're gonna end up on this season as well. I am curious. Are we gonna go actually over 10 draws this season?
Has there actually been team news on what happened to Malagusto? Because I see Lucky keep saying
I
Malagusto
do
injured,
want- yeah.
Malagusto injured. I do read your comment. I just did comment that Malagusto is injured and he probably won't be available for fucking United.
Yeah, we
But you
yeah, we just talked
insist,
about it.
so you must want me to see something.
And that's good. I don't want my client being involved in that stinkfest.
Oh, you should want him to play, man. You know, so he can take you to Real
No,
Madrid.
I'm genuinely about that Chelsea Man United game. I'm genuinely gonna watch Go Ahead Eagles versus Feyenoord instead of that. I'm gonna do a watch along and everything. Like, I'm sorry, you couldn't pay me to watch that game. I have 5 different devices,
the
6 if
Thursday
you
game.
include the laptop, and 7 if you include my phone. I might not watch that Chelsea Man United game.
No, you
I
gotta
just-
watch it. It's gonna be comedy.
We didn't ask you to watch it. You're not Chelsea.
That's what I gotta say.
What?
But like,
Uh,
it's just I don't know, Steve. You can find entertainment in that. Like, you're neutral, so you just gotta laugh at 2 shit teams trying to beat
I mean,
each other.
we're shit
It's
too.
honestly 2 clowns fighting each other.
We're like a pimped out Bournemouth.
Actually, you're just as bad as us this season. Actually, is pretty much.
Not
As well.
exactly. The fuck? We're pimped out Bournemouth.
We're all shit together.
We're pimped out Bournemouth with fucking.
We're all scrapping for like top 7.
Bro.
Well, we're not
What a
getting top
mid
7.
ass. What a. Can people fucking finally look me dead in the eye and tell me Premier League's the best in the world? Oh my god, it's so much better than those other leagues.
I think Serie A for competition is like one of the best right now. Like over the last few years. Like, there's different
Bundesliga as
teams.
well.
It is, yeah. I do rate the Bundesliga. I never really rate the French league for competition or that type of stuff because it's always the same story.
No, it definitely is competitive.
You mean winning for the league, or like all the other teams just find each other scrapping, like top 4 and stuff like that?
Oh yeah. It's a free for all in France, bro.
Yeah.
It's a
For top
fucking
4.
free for all. Saint Etienne and Bordeaux are in League 2.
I'm not gonna. I don't watch the French league. I watch the
It's
German
my
league now and then.
favorite. And it's my favorite. Yeah. But yeah, no. I just want people to realize that this league is mediocre. That's all.
Hey, we might get somewhere top.
I did
like,
find
top
some
8 or
comments
something,
here.
Chris. Like a lot of teams around us are shit. Like Man United are shit. They drew today. They was awful today as well. Like, but
Brentford.
we're on the same bucket. Like, we're all just fucking shit.
Yeah.
And it really sucks. We can't take some sort of advantage this season because we should have took advantage today.
Oh,
Here we go. I did find some comments here. Mauricio Pochettino is angry with his Chelsea players' lack of intensity. He pointed to his heart and head, explaining what was lacking today.
Wait.
He fought.
I also saw apparently Poch said we should be like top 4 or something.
I think that was before the game.
Oh,
I'll
he said
try to
before
find
the
the
game.
comment.
Yeah,
I'll
I
try to
saw
find a
a
comment.
comment earlier, like apparently we should be in top 4. I was thinking, huh? Like you seen us this season? Like we ain't better than Tottenham or Liverpool or Arsenal or Man City.
Do you have more points?
Aston Villa?
Do you have more points, or do you have more Chelsea aggregator Twitter accounts tweeting out Chelsea think they should be this? Chelsea think they're here. Chelsea said this. Chelsea data says that. I feel like it's been more than fucking 40 times that I've heard over this season. Chelsea, our XG is top 2 in fucking London. Like, it's crazy. Like, that's just wild. It's genuine brainwashing. This whole like, oh, we expect to be here, so that's why we're keeping this or doing this. Like, that's wild, bro. That's wild. That is wild.
Not good. Not good.
What? I want to know what Chelsea. I just want to skip ahead and see where Chelsea finishes as well. Top 8, top 10, 11, stay the same.
I think y'all finished 10th.
Yeah.
It's either you or Fulham that'll finish 10th. Probably Fulham, actually. You know what? I'll probably go. You guys will get over.
Poch is right there. We are all part of the problem.
Well, yeah. I'm not gonna say like he's the only problem, but he's definitely a problem. What needs to go and what's easy to get rid of. Like he's only got 1 year left after this.
Shows how much they really rated him.
That's right.
Yep.
Did you see also Cole Palmer what he said as well?
No, I didn't see what Cole Palmer said.
Something about like I forgot what it said exactly. I don't want to like ramble on and like just say like,
City.
it's about like the players and like how it's not good enough and all that. Like basically something like on the lines of that.
And I hate to say this today. Like today is another one of those games where it's just like Cole Palmer literally carried his team on his back again. I fucking hate when that happens. I really do. Because, like, don't get me wrong. Like, Mudryk had a promising performance. It's a promising performance. It's not like it's a great performance. And Enzo, to me, was, like, solid despite having only one training game since he's come back from international duty. He played, like, 70 minutes in that friendly. Like, it's just, like, fuck, man. When are we gonna
He is your team.
I hate to say
an individual.
Games like this, yeah.
An individual is your team.
Sucks.
What happens if he gets injured? What happens if he was gambling? What happens if he was chilling with Tonali gambling?
Or
what happens? I don't like Steve's questions. He's going backstage. Steve. Sorry.
Let's go backstage then, yeah? We'll go backstage.
Palmer just has like a bad game. Like, remember the Middlesbrough first leg, right?
Oh, yeah.
Remember when everyone was back? I don't think he had a bad game. I thought he was good. But everyone was slating him because he missed a hat-trick of chances. What if that happens again? Where he misses some chances and no one else steps up?
Yeah.
There's not much.
I'm not gonna be like mad at missing chances. He has.
That's on some of the players not stepping up, but that also shows that some of these players are not good enough and we need more leaders. It's clear that Palmer, at his young age, he is a leader. He steps up, but it can't be Palmer.
He's a fucking alpha male.
They're not gonna go anywhere.
It's an alpha male.
He is genuinely an alpha male.
Like, we literally are a mid-table side. We're Crystal Palace when they had Zaha. We're a mid-table side.
He arguably does maybe have the least experience in that attack in our team as well. Like he barely, like he obviously did play for City, but like he wasn't really used a whole lot last season. He wasn't.
Yeah, but Palmer's not experienced.
I know, like, yeah, and it's what surprised me how much he's carrying this like Chelsea attack.
Yeah, but it shows how good he is, though.
Yeah,
he's ready, and that was my.
I am worried we might lose him too if we carry on like this.
Marshall, by the way, that was my point the last time I was on. That we need more players like Palmer who are ready to come straight in and bang. More players like Gusto who are ready to come straight in and bang. Well, Palmer will put, yes, we are in relegation zone. And now people will realize what I've been saying, that Poch is worse than Potter. But hey,
Y'all need some fucking alpha males with quality.
Oh, you said Poch is worse than
Manager.
Potter. That's a shout. Because
You
he
guys
has
is
are
worse.
red.
bitches. I'm sorry. You
It
do
is
have
worse.
too many bitches.
he is worse.
No, I
Oh.
can't
And the
even.
main
I can't
bitch.
even defend. I can't.
Main
I can't
bitch,
even
the
defend
manager.
Like that. He probably is.
If Potter had Palmer last season, then we finish in the Europa League place.
Possibly.
Kind of
And
crazy because it's
I
like the
wonder what
people
the
say the
injuries
saying.
would have
It's
been
like
as well.
it's like the blind leading the blind with this team right now.
Do you reckon would have been as many injuries like this season with Potter?
I don't think so. That's the other part too.
That's because we've seen like the training methods and all that, like behind the scenes. Like it's just a mess.
It is so baffling to me how many injuries we've gone through and an international break. So
That's in my fucking world as well, bro. Yeah.
it's insane. We today with Malagusta we have 11 players out.
Wait, currently?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. I'm not going to blame it solely on that, but it definitely does play a factor, and it sucks. It sucks. So I'm so fed up with these injuries, and when it comes to the injuries, I'm looking at Poch for that one. I'm not gonna lie. I am looking at Poch for that one.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck is going on in training. I don't know how much you run these players down to the ground. I understand that Potter wasn't training enough, and I know that was part of the issue that Lampard pointed out when he was here in the short amount of time. But now this is insane. This is insane, the amount of injuries we've gone through this season. Like, this is the worst injury drought we've gone through. And we've had injuries. We've had, obviously, all teams have had a lot of injuries. Like, you see Newcastle earlier this season. You saw with Liverpool earlier this season.
United as well. Been perfect.
United, with a lot of teams. I get it. But holy shit, this season has been our worst injury-driven season in a long time. And one of the factors is Poch.
And also, Marshall, those teams you've mentioned have come out of their injury crisis. We haven't.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, it's really.
Oh
it's
yeah,
really
even
insane.
Brentford are getting back. And Bomo, he came on today. Because Brentford had a lot of injury problems this season too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, fuck. Welcome to Injury FC, bro.
It's crazy, but ladies and gents, I think with that being said, there's really not much to talk about with this game anymore. Like, it's same fucking typical Chelsea, and it's so fucking frustrating to see it happen over and over again. So it's like one of those, like, what else are you gonna do? So go ahead, copy and paste the raid message. Let me actually see this. Okay, so I think Matisse having an emergency stream. If you want to watch people complain about Poch and all that stuff, go over there and do your thing. Complain about the ownership, all that fun stuff. But yeah, go ahead, copy and paste the raid message over there. Let them know where you're coming from. Let them know where the raid is coming from. And also, with that being said, ladies and gents, be sure to subscribe, smash the like button on your way out, and also be sure to check out the links in the description. Check out Steve's channel as well. He's over there doing watch-alongs and all the fun stuff, unique football analysis and all the fun, stuff that you don't usually get from most other content creators on the platform. But yeah, go check it out. Check out the Bridge 258 who left me with his audience and, doing all the work. Thanks, Ahmed. So go ahead, check that all out. And if you haven't already done so, be sure to check out the memberships starting at 99p. If you are a proper casual and higher, I usually like to give you guys shout outs at the end of every show. And that's going to go to Hassan Nawaz, A. Solomon, Uncle Gesture, FC, Will, Adrian, Scott, Dark, OG Triple Jesus, and EE. We'll be back tomorrow for the Casually Chelsea show. I'm going to go ahead and start prepping that show and getting it ready for you guys to come on in and enjoy. But yeah. Thank you guys so much for everything. I'll see you over on the Matisse channel for the emergency stream of All You Can Eat Chelsea. And as always, guys, try to have a wonderful night and stay casual. Peace.